Hey, it's Tuesday at 6 o'clock, Total Schmidt Show. Let's do this.
Hey, tune in every week as I travel the world and I talk to entertainers from all over the world. A lot of writers, a lot of comics, a lot of dancers, a lot of singers, a lot of comics, a lot of producers, a lot of tech people, a lot of comics, a lot of piano player type people. You know what I'm talking about. Musicians and lots of comics. Every once in a while, we'll throw in a comedy sketch, something like that, some music, some travel stuff. We'll even do a live remote from one or two of the ports they happen to be hanging out at.
That's it. That's the whole show. And I'm going to record it all and put it on the intraweb. Sometimes. Usually late. Always late. Maybe. I don't know. And weekly? No. Maybe. Sort of.
Either way, sit back, grab a beer, light a joint, and enjoy this week's episode of
Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. It is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and here's the deal. I travel the world entertaining strangers, and when I do, I talk to other people who travel the world entertaining strangers. That's pretty much it. If you are on a cruise ship, you've seen any one of my guests, you've been in a club, Vegas, anywhere you can think of, singers, dancers, all kinds of people. That's the deal. It's simple, folks. If you're watching the video and you enjoy it, hit thumbs up. If you're listening on the podcast, please subscribe to the podcast. Helps me out a ton. If you really like what we do, you can follow us on social media. The information is on the screen, above me, below me, all around me. It's Mr. Lenny Schmidt on every single platform you could possibly think about. If you're really into what we do, go to the website, support us financially. We take Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all that stuff is there. It's all Mr. Lenny Schmidt, pretty much where you go. And if you're really into what we do, why not become a Patreon member? You can follow the show for a monthly fee. You get all kinds of stuff. You get free content, uploaded private videos, private meetings, stuff like that, merch, albums, tickets to shows, all kinds of stuff. The more money you give a Patreon, the more stuff you get.
Hey, I was on the celebrity Constellation just a while ago, and saw the Magic of Gabriel. I got to see magician Gabriel, who's from Italy, and his assistant at the time, Alessandra, and I saw their show, which was it's amazing. He does magic. He does a lot of close-up magic, sleight of hand, and he does some pretty big, a big effect. It's a big claw thing. I can't even get into it. It's a huge, it's like an escape thing. I can't even describe it, but it's a great show. Check them out, the Magic of Gabriel. I sat down with him and Alessandra on the ship, and they're my guests today on the pod, so sit back and enjoy the conversation with the one and only Gabriel.
Well, anytime technology advances, especially for you guys with magic and stuff, you do so many different things on stage. You learn to use so many techniques and so much of the stuff to enhance your show on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Magic in general, I think that the develop in magic is not that much. Like magic started, I don't know, 2,000 years ago. 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, yes, more or less. The first book, the first word that we know about magician is in Egyptian times, so 2,000-3,000 years before Christ.
Right.
We don't have that. We didn't. How to say sviluppati? We didn't develop that much.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Now with new technology, help just to do something that we already knew before, or we already could do before.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe in a different way.
In a different way, yeah, in an easier way. Now maybe something that before you could do in.
Well, look at the leaps we've made just in the last 60 years. Think about you're talking about 3,000 years of time. Look at the huge leaps we've made in 60 years with technology. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's grown, and then it just keeps. Like I do a bit in one of my shows about once they started, it keeps going. and then whatever you develop now, it's obsolete like a month later.
Yeah, because now it's faster and faster and faster.
Yeah,
Now
it keeps
everything
going.
is-
Yeah. And even just social media platforms. What was the one? I forgot that there's before Facebook. There was something else. What was it called? I can't remember. The first social media.
Oh yeah, it was like Messenger, MSN.
Yeah.
In Italy, we were using MSN.
I remember all the news groups too. Did you guys do the news group thing, which was you went online and it was like an early version of Facebook, but it was just text, and you could join a group and then communicate with people all over the world.
Probably.
And MySpace. That was the page format thing before Facebook.
In Italy, we didn't.
You didn't have MySpace?
Maybe we had it. MySpace, yes, but probably was not something. Yes,
right.
Now that I hear it was.
Probably we had.
Yeah, it was not something. It was not something.
You weren't the nerds.
No, I'm saying maybe more the nerds. You know, the one that were like so into computer and technology.
Yeah.
Having access to those.
Yeah, yeah.
For example, I didn't have a computer until my, I don't know, 17.
No, it was different
18.
for us.
Well,
So-
shit, yeah, you do. Well, even me growing up, I mean, there's a computer in every house now, and every person has at least more than one computer.
Yeah.
You have your laptop, your phone, all that stuff.
But now everything is a computer. Like
Yeah.
everything
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
computer. Your phone, your camera, everything is a computer. So
Yeah, it's too much. Man.
I feel that this kind of speed, this kind of high speed that we are using now is also affecting a lot the show business for us, because now people are getting used to see something crazy and
Yeah.
so good, like they can see the best jokes on Instagram one by one, tuck, best jokes, best
Right.
comedian, best magic trick, 10 second. How they can focus on your show in 45
Right.
minutes,
Right,
one
right.
hour and 30, so difficult. Right?
I'm always thinking about the effect of it on live entertainment all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I see less and less people going into live entertainment. Like, starting out as a comic was different back then than it is now. And you're right, they have access to so much stuff and technology. And a 45-minute show, but if they sit through it, it's great because there's nothing better than live entertainment. It's fantastic. You see, like, your show.
And they know that.
Yeah.
And they realize that what we, as entertainer, as a live entertainer, I think we should do is to teach them again that the live entertainment is something different than the AI or like something vision or something like that. Come on.
Yeah.
Because now they get bored too fast.
Yeah,
Because
short
of
attention
this.
span. Yeah, they don't
Okay,
stay with
next.
something.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, but when you are there, I mean the energy you change with people. When you are on a stage and you perform in front of thousands of people, or even 100 or even 10 people, the energy between you and them is different.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like for example, I was one of the, I don't know, maybe not a lot, that during pandemic I couldn't do anything online. I didn't, nothing. I was depressed, of course.
During what?
During pandemic. During
Oh, right.
COVID.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I was not one of the magicians that says, okay, I can do something online. I couldn't.
Right.
Like, I was missing the touch of the people. I was missing the real people.
Well, even if you were online, it just sucked a huge part out. I mean, think about how much we entertain in front of people all the time.
Yeah.
To have that just snapped away, it was. I mean, that's why I started doing this. I did the show during COVID and during the pandemic for the same reason, because I was like, I didn't know what to. I felt weird. I mean, years of performing, suddenly you're like nothing. Yeah, and it was just taken away from you. You felt like it was taken
100%.
away, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And at one moment, I was like, it's funny because right before it happened, I was telling people, I go, my job's bulletproof. I go, there's no way. These cruise ships, they're building them like crazy. We're out here constantly. There always a show. People love live entertainment. It's great. And then it was almost like pandemic came. I go, oh, I think I jinxed it.
Blackout.
It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But the cruise ship thing, I think that's one thing. That's what helps the live entertainment thing for us. You know what I mean? They go to see the.
For me was the first concert ever after pandemic was my light cruise ship. I never worked in cruise ship before.
Oh no way! You were
started
all
with-
circus before?
All circus before, or not just circus. I was working in circus theater, mostly
Theaters.
circus, yes. But yes, never cruise ship, and I never even thought about cruise ship.
Did you guys meet on a ship or meet on land?
No, we met in land.
Okay, in the theater or circus performing or?
During pandemic.
During
Oh,
pandemic.
during pandemic.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Alright.
my first contract was in a circus.
Okay. Well, so you guys started ships together then, pretty much.
He did his first contract by himself, and
Oh,
then I
and then you
joined him
borrowed.
like 6 months later.
Okay. Wow, that's weird. Yeah, I never thought about ever getting on a ship. I started when I got divorced, and I just ended up back out doing shows. But
It's
I've never.
something that you don't think. Like,
Yeah.
I never thought to go in a circus, honestly.
Right.
First time. Like, I was doing something completely different.
Did you do? Was it a traveling circus?
It was a traveling circus, yes.
Okay. How long were you there?
I did different circus. First contract ever was in Tunisia.
Okay.
I remember my manager called me and say, "Hey, you need to sit down. I have I proposed to do it." I said, "Okay." I was studying law. I was at the university. I was at college.
Oh, right.
I was studying law. I was becoming
Yeah, because you were going to do the legal thing before.
legal stuff. I was
Right.
becoming a criminology.
That's
criminologist.
really-
Yes.
That's so cool.
And he called me. He said, "Hey, I have a proposal for you. It's a circus. It's a circus act. This is the salary. Blah blah blah." I was like, "Okay." The only thing is in Tunisia, and the contract is 1 year and a half. It was 18 months, and also the problem in Tunisia in that moment, it was that there was a terrorism.
Yeah.
It was a kind of danger. It was
Oh,
especially
God, yeah.
especially in Europe. We were like afraid by Tunisia and Egypt. Was a bit of tension in that moment. So I remember going to my mom and say, "Hey, mom, I will quit the university."
Dude, you couldn't give her a worse story than I'm going to leave law and be a magician in a traveling circus. By the way, there's terrorists everywhere.
Exactly. And yes, and that's how I start to be a professionist, because before I was just magician as a hobbyist.
Sure.
So I did mostly circus for 4, 5, 6 years. Then COVID, and then the first light after COVID was this.
Right.
I still remember my manager, because in the circus, as I told you before, we were doing a rock show. My character was a rock show, was no word, not speaking with people, just illusions and lights and music.
Right.
It was, so physical. The show that my producer and my manager suggest me and propose me was this, the Magic of Gabriel, the show that I'm doing now. So elegant, so completely different, speaking
Right.
in English.
Speaking English, yeah.
I had to learn English. I wasn't speaking English before.
Yeah.
So I started to learn English 1 year and a half ago. So almost 2
Dude,
years
that's
ago.
amazing. I could never do what you do. I'm trying to learn Spanish forever. That's incredible. There's a magician named J.P. Parent. I don't know if you ever heard him. He's out of Canada, but he started out as a crew member, only spoke French.
Oh, wow.
And eventually, I'm always amazed when I meet someone like you guys that come from you develop a whole act out of a new language, a new everything.
No, you need to. You need to, because if you are English speaking, like
Yeah.
you're born and raised speaking English, more or less in your mind you know that you can talk with everybody in a word.
Yeah,
Speaking Italian, I'm Italian. Speaking Italian, you can just speak with Italian.
Yeah,
so,
Italian
for
stuff.
example, when I went to Tunisia with a circus, I needed to
Right.
learn French, or Arabic or French. They speak French so well. French is easier for Italians, so I learned
Right.
French. So here is the same, yeah.
Yeah, they say English and Spanish, if you know those two, you can get around anywhere. I notice it when I travel in airports. There's a lot of times when they speak Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish. I'm trying to learn. I should try harder, because I love Mexico. I love going to places where they speak Spanish, but if you learn those two, but I guess Italian would be a little.
It's also cool on a ship to speak some languages, because when you, especially for us guest entertainer, and especially in America with American people, that in America there are a lot of languages, because you speak Spanish, you speak English, you speak French. In Canada, America as America, there are a lot of languages. So when you meet a lot of guests here on a cruise ship, and you can say something to them in their languages, it's like they appreciate a lot. Even if it's a little bit, they appreciate a lot. So I like that.
So I try to learn to say thank you in Philippines and other, you know what I mean, just to say, because you're right, if you communicate with your
Philippines
language.
in Salama. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. Salama.
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 Salama in the Philippines.
Yeah.
No, it's
no.
also Philippines.
Maganda gabi is is a good evening in Philippines, but saying thank you is shukran in Arabic.
Shokran, okay.
Grazie in
I
Italian.
know that, yeah.
Gracias,
Gracias,
in
I know
Spanish.
that one, yeah.
And I don't know what they can say. Salama.
Salama is the one good one because you use that one a lot, especially in the dining rooms and stuff. You know.
Merci en français.
Yeah, yeah.
France.
That's awesome. Did you now? How did you get? You did dance before.
I did dance before. Yeah.
Yeah.
It always was like my dream. You know, even though I've like studied completely something different. I did hotel school, like catering school.
Okay.
And in my hometown, there were very little hometown. There was like no dancing school, like nothing.
Right.
So when I did get older and I went to study like off my region, like about like 2 hours and a half from my hometown, so I had to stay there. Like I did sort of boarding school, I think.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I did find like this small dance.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
dance school, and I was back then. I was like pretty old to start like classic and modern dance.
All right, because they
like,
start when they're little kids, right?
Yes, you should start like around when you are 5, 6,
Oh,
and
all right.
yeah, I didn't really have that opportunity. So, but I didn't. I wanted to do it anyway. So at 15, I started doing classic and modern until I stayed in that little town, and I graduated.
Yeah, graduated. High school.
Graduated in high school.
Mhm.
I did dance like for almost 5 years.
Okay.
And then from there, I moved to London. I abandoned dance because, anyway, my career was getting with that job.
And what was your career was?
In hospitality. So,
Okay.
yeah, as a waitress, as
Right,
a
right.
manager, restaurant manager.
Wow. Right. Yeah.
And,
Right.
But every now and back and then, it was my passion anyway. I always had it in my drawer.
Right.
Say,
In your drawer. Yeah. We
in my
saw that last night, yeah.
in my drawer. And so yeah, every now and then I was like taking classes. Like I love as well Caribbean dances, so I love anything like has to do with like salsa, bachata, merengue. That kind of style is also I love it.
Right.
And then yeah, I put it on this. I always had it on the side. I went ahead with my career, with my traveling. I've been to Australia. I lived a few years, as I said, in London, and then in Grand Cayman. And after pandemic, I went back to Italy.
Right.
And that's how I met Gabriel. And from there, I mean, it just started to pull me in his world.
Yeah. Right on.
And slowly,
Yeah, because it's a beautiful world. I was in a circus. I was one of the middle. It was during pandemic, so it was a weird contract. We couldn't have a lot of people. The contract was weird. Was in that circus, Lydia Toni, the big circus in Italy. It's a cool family. It was the second contract that I was doing there, and we were missing a dancer.
Right.
I was missing an assistant, so I needed an assistant. She was there because of me. She was there to visit me, and I kind of sneaky introduced her to the director. Because she's beautiful. So I said to her, "Hey, dress up well, come with me," and you see, without saying to her that my intention was to ask her to be my
that's how you do it, though. That's smart. Yeah.
He saw her, and in front of him, with her beside me, I said to him, we have a problem because we miss a dancer. How we can do?
Right.
And he told me, we have Alessandra.
How you put it in his head. That's brilliant.
And I said to him, but she never did it, so I don't know. What the problem? We can teach her.
You argued the point. You're like, I don't know. That's brilliant.
Mastermind is what I learned.
You're right. That's manipulation. That's a mind trick.
That's a lawyer trick. No,
it's a lawyer and magician trick.
Lawyer.
Oh, that's clever. That's like we used to call the Columbo in the United States. There's a TV show. You go, and by the way,
Columbo.
Yeah, right.
I love
that
Columbo.
show.
Yeah,
that was a great show. Well, shows used to be 2 hours long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. That's funny. That's probably a way to sneak her in, and then you're in. Now
And then,
you're set.
I mean, I had, a great opportunity, like, to experience that life that I never, experienced before, which is really cool. And
Yeah.
the circus, like, is really, really, really cool.
Well, you had art in your heart. You know what I mean? If your dancing was in your drawer,
Mm-hmm.
then your passion was art.
Yeah.
Performing, circus, it all worked together. You know what I mean? That's great. I love
It
that.
was brilliant. It was
You
really
guys, that's
brilliant.
so. I love. This is one of the reasons I love doing the show. Is I talk to people that you guys, you build your career.
Oh
You
yeah.
made it happen. You know what I mean? And if you're here and you're still working, and I always believe that with any artist on a ship, entertainer, you get. I mean, nobody knocks on your door and gives you this job. You know what I mean? You got to really work your ass off and build it and commit and sacrifice and. So you
With
guys-
nobody believing you, because of course,
Right.
like for example, when I started to do magic, I was 21.
Yeah.
So I was a kind of a man. I was a man at 21, 22.
Yeah.
You start to be a man. You're not a boy anymore. You're not a kid anymore. So I was doing something stupid for the people.
Sure.
Something, especially in Italy. We are not like show business in Italy is not that. It's not like in America. Like in America, everybody know that show business could be great. Las Vegas, you can dream Las Vegas.
You can make
in
it, yeah.
Italy, show business is a little bit less. Estimated. I don't know how to explain. But
Well,
Yeah, it's not-
respected.
It's
kind
not
of.
the same level. Like,
yeah.
Right.
if you talk to your family, okay, I want to be this, I want to do dancing. Always, my family always look at,
They
okay,
laugh
it's
on
your
you.
passion.
Yeah.
You should do it, but as a passion.
Have something to
Okay.
back yourself up.
Like
Yes.
keep it serious, okay? Oh yeah, you can do magic, but look at here. Okay, your career is the university, the law, the
Yeah, well, we kind of had it the simple, especially like stand up was similar. Well, first of all, when you start doing stand up, you're not good. You're really bad for a while. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I had presence, but my jokes were terrible. It takes you a while to figure it out. So a lot of times, people even up here are like, okay, you're going to be a comic. And even when I met my wife, my ex-wife, I was working. I'd been working on the road for 10 years. I've been doing smaller clubs and stuff,
Yeah.
not ships. But every time I went and saw her dad, he would have a new flyer for a job. Like, here, UPS is hiring. This is a good career. And I go, I got it. I'm doing stand-up. It's my career. And for years, he never understood that I could find a way to make a living. But even if no one really wraps their head around, that's going to be your job. You know what? There's a great video on, you ever heard of the band Rush?
No.
They're out of Canada. They're a huge rock and roll band. They broke up. The drummer died a few years ago, but I was a big fan of this band for years. There's a video of the guitarist of Rush. He's 18 years old, 17, and he's telling his dad he's going to drop out of high school and join this band Rush. And his dad is going, "You're an idiot. You're not going to make a living. You can never." And it's on video. It's like an old school video.
Of course.
And I'm thinking, how many times that conversation has been had over the years throughout the world, where where every father's like, get a job,
Of course.
Get a serious job. Get an education.
forget a real job. Guitar's fun, but make a living. You can't support a family, that type of thing.
And what I used to say to people, like for example, my mom, for sure, when I told her, "Hey, I quit the university and I go to Tunisia with the circus," of course she was not happy.
Sure.
But at the same time, she didn't stop me. She didn't try to stop me.
Oh,
That's
that's cool.
amazing. That's cool. That's cool. But what I'm saying to people is, even if somebody tried to stop you, it's your life. I mean, if this is your dream, just fight for it. Even if it just can be also for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You
Yeah.
do this job for 3 years, and it's your dream. Okay, wow. Even if you need to quit, even if your dream at one point collapse, and if it's alright. You
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah.
You lived for a little while.
Yeah, you can look back
your
when you get
dream.
older and go, I gave it a shot, or I did it for a while, or whatever.
Yeah.
I got a lot of friends who are in the arts and then dropped out. I tell my kids that. I think the goal in life is to find a way to make money, find a way to make some money in doing your passion.
Oh yeah.
And now you can diversify and make money from different places, especially now with the way technology is. You can find a way to make money part-time here. You can make money online. You can make money.
Sure.
The gig economy in the U.S., we have Lyft, Uber, all kinds of side jobs you can do. But if you can make some money from your passion, maybe you
You
can
never
build
work.
more. Yeah,
You never
right.
work. Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough, like we mentioned this last night, well, we're blessed. We get to perform our art this is how I pay the bills. I've been doing this 36 years. If you'd have told me 36 years ago that I'd be doing it, I'd be like, okay, I'd have signed the contract right there. I'm in. Let's do it.
We are lucky, but we are not just lucky. We are lucky in somehow,
Yeah.
but we are also so starboard and we wanted. We wanted. We really fight for it.
That's what I mean. You gotta push and sacrifice, and you made it happen. You made your career happen. And there's something to be said about, like you said, just give it your all as long as you can. And
try.
I just tell my kids when they're little too, because like once you get older and you have kids, suddenly life kind of dictates what you got to do. Now you got to find a way to make it. You know what I mean? You can't just pursue something for the most part.
Yep.
But when you're younger, I tell my kids now, whatever they want to do, I'm like, do it. Just do it. They're living with me. I'm paying the bills. I go, man, just give it a shot.
You need to be happy. The goal for me is to be happy.
Yes.
To be happy. So what made me happy now? Now made me happy these things. Okay, do it.
Right.
Because if you don't do it, even if it's better maybe for me that you don't do it or for the people that you don't do it. Don't do it. Make you unhappy.
Right.
Do it. Whatever it is, do it.
Well, I think that's one of the lessons I think a lot of people, at least I learned through the pandemic, was quality of life, like quality of mind, happiness of mind. I have a lot of friends that have jobs that they hate. They've been doing it for 25 years. They got them right away out of school, and they work these jobs that they don't like, and they're kind of stuck now, And like you can't, you got to be happy every day when you do your job, man. You got to enjoy it, So you're right.
Sure.
My mom, I think that my mom, my mom raised me by herself, so I was me and her in the house, of my sister. But I was looking her super unhappy to go to work. She hated her job. She just got graduated. Pensionata, rented right now.
She's
retired. She's retired.
Oh,
right
good
now.
for her. Good, man. Right on.
But for 50 years, I don't know, for 40 years, she hated her job.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see that. I didn't want that.
I
didn't want to repeat that. I want job is important for our life. Is most of our time, like 8 hours per day if you have a normal job, or anyway,
it's all of your time.
Effect of your time, your job. So, I mean, you need to.
Well, your mom, we were similar that way. Mom was the same way. Mom raised 5 boys by herself, and she got up and went to work every day. But she had to. I mean, you got to feed the kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're dealt cards that you don't see coming, and you got to do what you can. And when you have kids, it's all about survival of the children. You know what I mean?
But before, the mentality was different. I think we being human, it means also that we need to evolve.
Yeah.
And evolve not just in a physical way, but also in a mental way. Before, the focus was more in you have to have a kids, you have to have these jobs, you have to have a kids at this time. Now we are realizing that our life is longer for sure, but also we are realizing that focus on yourself. It helps you to focus on the world. Focus on be happy. Help you to make people happy.
It feeds the whole. If you're right. Because there's been a bigger focus and shift on mental health in the last few years, and there should be, because early on it was suck it up and be tough and get through it and you'll be all right. But if you're happier, you'll produce happier, and then you're healthier too. Physiologically, it affects your body to be unhappy or angry. It hurts your heart and you know what I mean? It hurts you on the inside, like physically. So being happy is so much more important than people really give it. I think people learn that more as time goes by.
And priorities changed. Sure.
The what?
The priority, changed. So
yes.
That's like everything shifted,
Yeah.
Kids.
You're right.
Kids late, having.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, I have a ton of friends, women, there used to be women, you have to have babies and this, I have a lot of friends that just never had, they just want to have babies. And it used to be people, what's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. If she's happy that way, who cares? If she's, that's her life. Mm-hmm. That's good. Mm-hmm. People need to focus, you're right, on your individual happiness. Because then the whole world it's a better place. If you live in a city with a bunch of people that are pissed off and miserable, it's going to be a pretty bad place.
100%. And I think that as an entertainer, our job, because like we affect people. Like being an entertainer, I realize even if it's not a lot, I mean it's 10 years that I'm an entertainer, circus and shit, like my career. I realized that I felt sometimes that I change mind of some people that were watching my show. Like for example, a person became a magician, or another one, I don't know, change something in his life. So I think that our job is important because we can affect people, can affect people in a good way. Of course, even in a bad way if we want, but in a good way. So we really need to speak with them, with people in our show, to I don't know, to show them what we think, to show them how the world could be.
It's a connection.
You mean to open up?
Open their mind.
You motivate them a little bit.
To motivate them, to show them that it's possible. Like I wanted to be a magician. It's crazy. Like to be an astronaut. Like it's a crazy job. Just believe it. Like you wanna be a magician. Yeah, okay, you can do it. I'm here doing the magic. You are there doing comedy.
Yeah, the whole reason I do comedy is because of that. I always thought about it. I dreamed of it. I'm like, oh, this would be neat. And I saw two guys live, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I saw it and just started doing it.
Yeah, this tattoo is actually, I don't know if you can see it. It's an hummingbird grabbing a little drop of water, no?
Yeah.
And it means this, like, I'm trying to do my part, communicating with people happiness. And why I'm saying that this hummingbird, this tattoo, it means this, because this is a story, it's a Maya story, it's a Mayan story, like from American, and it says that there was a big fire in a forest, and there was this little hummingbird going to the river, from the river to the fire, from the river to the fire, with a little drop of water. And all the animals, they were laughing at him, like, what you can do with your drop of water. It was, I'm going to stop the fire. I'm going to stop the fire. And like all the animals again, like laughing at him, escaping, and at one point he stopped and says, "Hey, you are laughing at me, but I'm just doing my part. I can't grab a lot of water, but just a drop.
I can only do so much. I'm doing it.
If everybody do their part,
that's really powerful. That's awesome.
Yes, and that's more or less how I feel about magic, how I feel about my job. I try to make some people smile, to make some people believe in themselves, and try to send my message.
Right.
It's a little part. It's not that big, but it's my part.
But in the long, it can be big. Like every one of us has done a show. Right. That's a great tattoo. Great point.
Yeah.
Every one of us has done a show. I'm sure you've had dozens of times somebody walk up to you and go, "I really needed to see a great show. I really wanted to see that," or any message or anything you do. That sometimes you change people's lives, and some people don't believe that, but it's true. Just 1-2 people from a show walk up, especially like kids. The young kids will come up and they're always blown away. They're like, "Wow, thanks," and you have no idea the effect you have in the long run on somebody's life.
100%. I received message from people like a couple of years ago that they saw my show maybe 5 years ago, and they sent me a message saying, "Oh, after I saw your show, I start to study again at the university because I say, wow, that's amazing! Like you affect like just one life. It's crazy. It's powerful.
It is very powerful.
It's
extremely powerful. Which is, and I go back to what I said about live performance. Live performing is so, and you mentioned short attention spans. I believe in a pendulum swing. I believe that something gets really popular and then it swings the other direction. And I think live performance will come back. Good live performance. You know what I mean? And I think still a lot of people go see it because it has such a profound effect on everybody. You know what I mean? It's powerful. I think it's live performance is great. And for people to see the story or see you, because you don't know who you're motivating in the audience. It's really it's powerful.
Yep. And I think in a ship is the great things about the entertainment in a ship is that it's good, it's great, it's random, so people they can really arrive and see good quality of random show.
Yeah.
like if you go to the circus, of course, I love circus. You more or less know what to expect.
Right.
If you go to the theater, you more or less know what to expect because you are going to see that show that you bought the ticket. You know what. If you go to a cruise ship for 10 days,
Yeah.
you don't know what to expect. Like
Yeah.
the
Well,
first
especially
time I
these
was here, I was
crossings, you know, they have
"Whoa."
so much different stuff.
A whole bunch of.
Yeah. Everything from you guys to me to the couple the last 2
I
nights.
do these
and-
stunts and they have, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's good. It's a whole different world out here performing and stuff. But it's cool. It's it's great. You now do you how does your family think about you being on ships?
At the beginning, they didn't really like.
Yeah, right. I
Like,
bet.
the idea, like me being on the ship in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
But then they kind of, I think, accept it. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was happy. I was traveling.
Do you ever get them out? Do you ever get your families out here to get on the cruise, on the ship with you sometimes?
My mom, yes.
Your mom? Oh, that's great, man.
Almost
Cool.
all the contracts, she come to visit me.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
So she gets to sit there and watch you perform.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
She love it. She love it. Like now she.
Does she have a heart attack every time you do that claw thing?
Oh my god, yeah. That is
So
that is a huge thing between us. Yeah.
Dude, that is crazy. Yeah, I bet, dude. That's even I was like, what the? I mean, that's a lot.
I gave my mom a lot of heart attack in my life in general.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say he's a prank master. He
Oh, really?
loves making pranks.
Not just prank, but
Jokes
also in
and-
life. Yes, prank, but also in life. Like, hey, mom, I just destroyed the car. Hey, mom, I'm in a hospital. I'm almost dying, but don't worry.
No, it's all good.
Hey, mom, I'm jumping from a plane. Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Well, that's good. All right, dude. Well, this was great. Thank you guys for
That was
coming out.
nice.
Do me a favor. Right to the camera. If you have any socials you want to plug,
Okay,
go ahead and
yeah,
plug your
yes.
website, whatever you want to plug.
Please, if you want to follow me, go on Instagram, especially on Instagram, and follow the Magic of Gabriel without space. This is my life. This is my word. Thank you.
Okay.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you.
You're still watching? That's amazing. Nobody does that. Nobody, but you did. That means you want more. Pick one of these clips. Go for it. I dare you. Hey, also follow one of those social media thingies.